Tony's a very, very good player, and that's so easy to play now. You should always, always do continuation betting in this situation. Once you've raised before the
You're
flop,
representing aces. You're always
and once you really hit a flop that's really ugly, but there's an ace in there, and the guy has only called you, by calling you know he doesn't have ace-king. So it's a great opportunity to bet that. I mean, even if you got 10-king of clubs there, now that's a great flop to bet. That's a beautiful flop. That's a flop you must bet.
You always want to keep up the hand.
It's all about continuation betting. And when you play middle pairs, you miss, always bet out. It must be. If you're the first one or it's checked to you, bet out. Continuation betting is very, very strong play.
Let's see another play with kind of a tricky hand here. Oh, Pippa Flanders with 2 8s. And this is still rather early in a tournament. Now, we know Pippa's kind of a dangerous player.
Raise. So that's 4 with...
She always looks very sad. I never know where to put her on. Like, really? She has a good poker face.
Yeah, she's a very good poker player. I really have a lot of respect for her. She must be the top female player right now on the circuit.
I think she is. She's got the biggest win in Europe.
And that's a pass.
She was having trouble deciding how much to raise. The hand like 2 8s early on. Do you raise the same amount pre-flop each time?
You can vary it.
Well, if the blinds are low, I would limp in.
It's never a mistake to raise with her.
I'm going to raise all in.
Going all in.
Now the blinds are still 2 and 4. She's made it about 19,000, and Liam Flood here with a re-raise all in.
Sure. And that's a good play by Liam because he wants to get it in. He doesn't want to call now. He wants to see if he can get the pot before the flop.
I hope she put him on ace-king, but that's the only thing she can hope for now. Like, she knows he has ace-king or better, so.
Well, she's only got about, I guess she's got about 60,000 left. Do you think she's kind of made this decision difficult by putting too much in pre-flop, or was that, or has she got enough information to get out of here?
I think she's got enough information. I think she can get out of it. It's pretty simple to get out of it now, but...
unless she thinks it's time to gamble.
Yeah, she's kind of low on chips. So.
Because of her stack size?
That's the thing. The longer she's going to think, the more she's going to think he has ace-king. So, but I think she's getting away from it.
Well, there's no shame in doing that.
Yeah, great pass.
If you're doing that, I have to be. I know that, man.
So, I mean, sometimes it's not even worth seeing the flop with those middling pairs, I guess.
No, when it costs you all your chips.
But if you limp in and you get a small raise, and you can see a flop.
So I'd rather limp in, see a flop and break someone than not see a flop at all.
Yeah. Let's look at a really small pair. I think the smallest pair of them all is deuces. But...
what am I still doing here? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll get away from it.
14,000.
The line. Bring the line.
Raise from
the 3 amigos that moving.
Metzger, and Hardy now facing 2 overcards. We doesn't know he's got a raise. This is 8s again. And would you just call here on the button?
Pass.
I would probably raise. But he folded.
Look at this.
8.
Tim Flanders has got a much lower blind. I know he does have the big blind, but is he thinking more along the lines that you would be?
Yeah, calling is a different sort of situation. If you went all in now, that's a great opportunity to grab the pot. That's a mistake to call. I would just go all in now. Because now it's very hard for him to win this pot.
Yeah, he's just looking to hit or...
Yeah.
16,000.
But he makes a stab at it, so he had a plan.
Yeah, that's a good play. But that would have been better to go all in before the flop. You would have had a great chance to win it.
Yeah, but it's easy when you know the hands.
Do you think he was just looking for a flop without an ace? What do they call that? Stop and go or something?
Yeah, he made a great play.
Good bet.
It almost seems like any of the 3 of them could have won that pot, but Tim was the most willing.
Yeah, this guy is sitting there and he's going to get his chips in, so he has a chance to win. If you're just going to fold, you're never going to get chips.
You see how people, those medium pairs, they get very confused with them. Anthony Hardy folded in a hand, he had several ways to win it, and then Tim Flanders found the one way.
Well, Anthony was way too cautious. On the button, it's a great opportunity to make a play at that pot. I mean, either raise or call, but it's not a hand you can fold in that situation.
Medium pairs are tough. Tony and Noah say, try and get in cheap, but if you do decide to raise with them, don't dog the flop. Coming up after the break, some more tricky hands here, as your guide to becoming a winning tournament player continues. Welcome back. Do you want to win $1 million in a poker tournament? Well, Noah Buchan and Tony G are here to make it happen. Now, guys, we talked about hands like pocket pairs. They're hard to play. But what about those hands that look pretty? Suited connectors, for instance.
They look very pretty, and they are very pretty. And early you can make some big hands with it, like you can flop the nuts, make a straight, or make a flush. And early on, when you can get in cheap, see a flop and see if you can hit something.
They're crackers, aren't they? Let's have a look at a hand here. Someone playing a hand just like that early in the tournament. I mean, Tony, if you pick up, say, 6-7 suited in the first level, are you raising, folding, or calling? Can you do all three?
Yeah, you can do all three depending on the table, but I prefer to raise with them.
You're not folding?
Oh, I am folding a lot. Depends on the table and the situation, but the best play is to raise and to present a different hand than what you've got.
They don't see it coming. They think they put you on ace-queen and ace-king, and when it comes rags, they think they have you.
So the fact that Norman has just limped in here, called the opening bet, is maybe an indication that he has something like he does.
Yeah, that's right. You want people to think you have a different hand than what you do have, so. It's a
Pretty good flop.
It's pretty easy for everyone to get out of this hand, although he's flopped great.
Well, Darren's betting with nothing but king high here, really.
He's had a brainstorm here, unfortunately. It's a really bad bet by him. Seems to be no value betting there in the middle. The first position guy is normal to check raise anyway.
Like if you make a bet on the turn after everybody checked on the flop, okay, but here you don't know where you're at all.
Well, what should Norman, is calling there his best option there? Should he have raised another guy behind him?
It's a fine call.
He should have raised.
Yeah, but the raise would have been better because he
should have raised. Now he's in trouble with his hand.
Is that something that he should have seen coming, or?
Well, you can't predict it, but you can move all in on that hand. The pot's big enough now, and you can just make a really big bet on a turn, and you know, it's unlikely the guy's flopped the nuts. If Bloom hasn't got the nuts, you're going to get the pot. You might have the worst hand, but if you go all in, you might get the pot.
Yeah, this was on the flop. But
he could have like something like 8-jack or something, and he might have won the pot there.
I mean, look, he's going to go broke here. Would either of you guys gone broke with this hand?
I could have gone broke, but not in that way.
I would have played different.
I would have gone broke on a flop, not on the turn. Now the hand's
the thing is,
weak.
if you play it like he did, call on the flop, then you have to fold. Now he moves in, and he doesn't want to fold because he sees he has a pair, a draw. So that's why the better play is to raise the flop, put your opponent in the position to make the decision.
Raise the flop or raise before the flop. I guess either one of those.
Yeah, well, I would have raised before the flop, and that would have been easy to win the pot. And then the opponent, you know, wouldn't have thought it.
Yeah. But if you call, which is fine, and you see a flop and you hit something like this, you have to take advantage of it, and he didn't.
Bloom